Hello, welcome to Open Studio. My name is Sarah Hayden. I'm here with Paul Bushey, who is the General Chair of the Yankee Homecoming Festival. We are going to talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end, an ongoing week event of just fun, fun, fun. And seriously, after you said 22 events, I knew that wasn't exactly right because I have so many events here that don't even sort of count as events because it counts as one day and there's like 20 events even in that.
There are, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, Paul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's 7 days away now, so we're very excited. My wife and I moved to Newburyport in 2015, so I'm a relatively newcomer.
Yes, you are.
I was still working at the time, but as a way to meet new people, we saw an ad in the Daily News for volunteers, and the first year we just passed the bucket down at the Waterfront Concert Series, and from there my wife and I have chaired different events. I did the parade for 2 years in 2018 and 19, and then with COVID we had to restructure a few things, which I can talk about later, and joining the board, you do make a commitment that at some point you will be general chair. So this is my year, and it's been great.
That's awesome.
It's been great.
So you started by passing the bucket.
I did. Yeah,
yes. Be careful what you volunteer for, right?
My wife said I have to learn to say no sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's a great event,
it's great.
And it's really
and the people that we've met.
It's huge, though. It really
is, and the people we've met are fantastic. There are many people that have been with Yankee Homecoming many, many years.
Yes.
And they volunteer really a staggering amount of their time each year to make sure, behind the scenes, that everyone has a great time.
Yes, just for throwing a little plug for us here at the NCM Hub, Richie Eaton, I know, has done the parade, has announced it for years and years and years, and he will be back announcing again this year with his son,
terrific.
Pat. Yeah, I cleared that he is going to actually be here because he does spend more time in Florida.
Great.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe the signature events, like the opening and what's going to happen at the beginning and any kind of changes that might be with some of those signature events.
Historically, Yankee Homecoming has kicked off on the Sunday with Old Fashioned Sunday, which is down at the Bartlett Mall, and included in that is just a lot of fun activities for the kids and families. Also, at 11:30, we will have our opening ceremonies that kick off formally the week events. The dignitaries will be there. The mayor will be there to say a few words.
And that will be at the Mall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this year we're kind of excited because someone from the Jimmy Fund is going to come and recognize our contributions. We are one of the first organizations since the 1950s that have supported the Jimmy Fund. If you know, in the parade, we have a bucket brigade that goes down each side and collects money for the fund. And I really don't have the amount over the years, but it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we have contributed to that organization.
I know, I read that it first was one of the reasons, or like the main fundraiser for the Jimmy Fund.
It was actually called the Jimmy Fund Parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also had read that there were initially 29 communities that were involved since 1958 when it started as a way to bring people back to share the beauty of their own community. And Newburyport's the only one left doing it.
We're the only one that is still running.
Yeah, crazy Newburyport.
It's amazing.
But it's a big deal here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it can be hard on the people in the community because it's so congested sometimes downtown, but I think we have all adjusted. And also it gives us a time to go out and enjoy our community as well.
It does, and I know for people that feel that they're disrupted that week, it is only 7 days. And myself, like others, I know the ways to get around the traffic.
Yeah, so we will get back to some of those signature events, but speaking of our own community, there's a new event this year, which is really specifically for people in the community. Why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Event I'm very excited about. It's called Know Your Community, and it's going to be here at the Council on Aging / Community Center. And it will give us an opportunity for our citizens to come in and see what resources are available in town. I know when I was working, I had a poster on my wall that said knowledge equals power. And if you don't know what is available as benefits for the community, then how are you going to partake in those? So to your point, we're going to have the Veterans Center will be there, Social Security will be there, the Shine Counselors, Newburyport Recycling, Essex County Resources, the Newburyport Police, some of the assisted living for-profit agencies will be here.
And it's not just for seniors in the community. It's also, I think there's also information that will be for just, if you're not a senior. Yeah,
absolutely.
I know some people might think, oh, it's at the senior community center, so it's for the seniors. But
and to that end, Paul is really excited to have the rest of the community to know what the community center can offer.
Yes.
Because that is part of the name, community center. So there's a lot there for people in the town, regardless of what age you are. So we're excited about that. There's only over 40 participants, profits, nonprofits, community action center, the places that are fighting food insecurity. People don't realize that somebody can get a meal at no cost every single day in Newburyport. Yes. Which is important.
It is
especially
important.
Now after COVID, there's a lot of people that are still struggling out there. And, and the resources are there for the community.
I think sometimes people have an idea that because we live in Newburyport and it is a wealthy community that people aren't struggling. But the fact of the matter is that you can be struggling in a very expensive large house, and you can be struggling with paying your bills and getting food. So there shouldn't be any shame around being able to get some help when you need it.
It's Thursday, August 4th. It's 10 to 2 at the community center. And
if they're interested in coming in for a little tour here, we will be part of that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, we might actually have some of the ukulele players here. I'm not exactly sure, but
my wife does play the ukulele.
So she was in here.
They will be. Yes, she was here in the studio.
That was great fun. They're good.
They are.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah. So let's go back and talk about some of the opening events, like the one you talked about, art on the Mall. Then what would be next?
So Old Fashioned Sunday runs all that day until 4 p.m. So there are a lot of different activities all day long. There's going to be, in conjunction with that, a cornhole tournament for beginners that you can sign up for. And all of these things are on our website. We are slowly getting into the 21st century where everything's electronic. So any sign-ups, it's on our website, which is yankeehomecoming.com. So you can sign up to be in the parade. You can sign up for a float.
Yes, they're looking for floats, I had read.
Yes, we this year. Last year, coming out of COVID, I think the go-ahead wasn't given to Yankee Homecoming to hold the festival because there was so much uncertainty with COVID until May. So when you think back, that's amazing that the week-long events were pulled off in 2 months, which shows the dedication of our volunteers.
Terrific. I remember Richie had said, "Are we doing the parade?" And I said, "I don't know. Are we? I didn't know there was going to be a festival."
Right. And there was so much uncertainty. To that end, we ended up with only 3 floats and a few civic organizations. This year, our floats are probably increased for about 400%. I think we were up to 11 community floats, which is a great opportunity for organizations to get their message out. For example, Link House has had a float for 3 years, and they're coming back. St. Paul's is coming back with a float. So it's a good opportunity to show the town.
And it's the same route now as it used to be in the past? Is that
No, unfortunately, it used to be 2.5 miles long, and it went all the way to the end of Newbury line, which was one of the longer parades anywhere. And so 2 years ago, the board made a decision that we needed to shorten it, especially with one of the issues is a lot of the people that are in these bands are getting along in
Mm-hmm.
years, and that was a strain to walk 2.5 miles
Yes,
with a
it's
trombone.
actually very long, yeah.
Yeah. So it now ends at the corner of Pond Street
Mm-hmm.
and High Street. At the
Where the Art on the Mall is
yes,
now,
yeah.
excuse me.
And that's an easier place for us to disperse.
Yeah.
We ask that most people participating find their way back to their cars or leave a second car down at that end. But we're excited this year for people that have a musical instrument. The Council on Aging has offered their van to shuttle
Oh,
people
nice.
back to the market basket. So to me,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah. So does Newburyport have a marching band? I know it was a little bit of a conversation and struggle to kind of pull together some students for the marching band.
So what has happened over the years, at one time there were many, many high schools that participated, and that is no longer the case, mainly because of family vacations, and a lot of schools hold their band camps in August.
Oh,
So,
Gosh, I didn't
so
know
that's
that.
what we ran up against. All of the bands that now are in the parade are something that are under contract with Yankee Homecoming. So we pay them a fee to march in the band. And people may not realize that it's about $16,000 to put on the parade each year.
wow.
So, that's a good chunk of money. And that comes from our sponsors, from our fundraising, from the buckets being passed down at the concerts. And
Yes, your biggest fundraiser is the Brew Fest, which
Yes.
I know. And that is is that the only
we have
real
two
fundraiser?
fundraising events besides our sponsors, and the other is the golf tournament, the Geno Open. That is that first Monday in the Old Newbury course. That has always been a sellout. And
next year maybe?
Yeah,
I'm starting golf lessons.
the Greco family has been so supportive of hosting this event for us, and it is a good time, a good fundraiser. If you don't play golf, you can still go to the luncheon that's afterwards too.
So during the week, there's ongoing things, of course, at Market Square, including music and the food and the artisans and all of these things. And then on top of that, there's music in the evening.
Yes.
So maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, really, that's one of our signature events that really draws families downtown, especially after a day of working hard, and you can go with your family, put your chairs on the lawn, or put your chairs on the lawn early in the morning, which some people do to reserve a space.
Oh, I wrote down those bands.
But we are completely booked. The Saturday, we have what we call the High School Battle of the Bands, which is a way to showcase up-and-coming musical talent in the community.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
this year, we have 7 bands that are participating.
Wow. That makes my heart feel good,
Yeah.
because it is sad about kind of a little decrease in the marching band,
Yeah.
kids, and really across the country,
So
music
we'll
is
have
a little
come
less.
down Saturday evening. We have 7 bands. There are cash prizes for first, second, and third place. The first place winner then we get a flatbed truck, and they are also part of the parade on Sunday.
Has that always been that way? I guess I did know that.
Since I've been involved, it has. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. But we have some big headliners coming back during the week. We have E.J. Olette and Crazy Maggie, which is on Sunday. On Monday, we have Cold Spring Harbor, which is a Billy Joel takeoff band. On Tuesday, Andrew McManus, which is he's a singer-songwriter locally from Raleigh. Wednesday are the Salem Boys, which is a 12-piece classic rock band.
Nice.
Thursday is always the crowd favorite, Beetlejuice
Of
comes
course.
back. And then Friday we're ending up with Fortune, which has opened nationwide for many, many groups.
Wow.
So they're
I
a
will come
well-known
with my
band
chair.
also. Great.
You're going to keep all the bugs away, though, right?
I can't promise that.
And the heat.
I hope so. I hope it's a little cooler next week than this week.
Yeah. I mean, if it's warm, do you have, I sort of remember in the past there was some misting
I
tents
don't
or
know
something.
if those stations are there. But that's a good point that
I don't know what the temperature is going to be. I know it's going to
don't.
drop a little bit down to the 80s after we get through, I think, this weekend, which is really
I
gonna
guess
be a warm
Sunday's
one.
supposed to be the best. So we got 7 days, and just hope for no rain.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the things that people do come specifically to do. I mean, I can glance over and see the road rally I've never
Yep.
done myself, but I know that I've gone to Family Day, and there's a lot of historic tours that I'm interested in, but they're actually even listed separately on the website that has all of the information. Boy, once you go in there, you can get further and further in, and these are free events.
Yeah, the only charges are our fundraisers, which is the Brew Fest. It's a $45 charge. We also charge $25 if you're a non-drinker. So you can also join us, and the golf tournament. Other than that, everything is completely free.
I mean, that alone is
Yeah.
just such a wonderful thing to offer
Yeah.
families, particularly now when things are kind of a struggle for many people.
It is,
So it is.
and we need to, after the 3 years of what we've been through with
I know.
COVID and isolation, I think people are clamoring
Yes.
for a little bit of community celebration and community pride.
Yeah. And so I had done a little research on your website, which is good. It has the history, and I thank you, Glee Woodworth, for putting that. I don't think I'd seen it before. I mean, maybe I just missed it, but it does give the history if people are interested in how it came about. And the first general chair was George Cashman,
Yep.
and it was in 1958, and he sort of decided to focus around that we're a Coast Guard community, and that was August 4th was the birthday of the Coast Guard, which is kind of cool. I never knew that connection because I always had tours of the Coast Guard, and I personally always liked that. And this year, I think there is something that the Custom House is doing, because I think we're going to be looking for coverage so that we can cover that event, because
okay.
it looked
I know
important.
there are many groups that piggyback their
Yes, they're doing
events with
something
us.
about the fact that it's
Yeah.
the birthplace of the
Yeah.
Coast Guard. So
Well, we do the Coast Guard tours, which is on Thursday from 10 to 2.
yeah, those
And
are
that's how
interesting.
yeah, that is very
I like that.
interesting.
I'm always up. But talk about the road rally.
The road rally is sort of like a scavenger hunt in your car. It's not timed, but you will have to go out and they give you a list of things that you have to locate or find. For example, last year, one of the questions was, where's the town forest? Do you know we have a town forest?
I do. I
Which-
do know where
yeah,
it is.
Right.
Maybe I should be part of this road rally.
Well, we've changed it up this year.
Well, I mean, throw another old one at
Yeah,
me. Let's see if I can do.
I can't. But the people that participated in the road rally last year said it was great.
It
They had
sounds
such a
like fun.
great time.
Maybe I should. And that
Yeah.
you can register on the
Yeah,
website.
and that is one of the few events that there is a cost to,
Mm-hmm.
because it's part of a third-party organization.
Now the veterans have their regular luncheon.
Which is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
So during COVID, we changed the model and we delivered the meals to anyone that requested them. This year it's back on
I
Tuesday.
remember that. Donnie Jarvis. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
He's great, and he and Bill Crimmins and Jen Duggan are organizing it again this year. It's going to be a sit-down meal at Hope Church. The only thing, it is still a concern because COVID seems to
course.
be rearing its head a little bit again.
Of course.
So we're asking people to, if they don't feel comfortable, don't attend if you're health compromised. But if you do attend, please make sure you bring a mask to wear when you're not eating, and practice safe
People
sanitation.
generally
I
can
think,
see
yeah.
why that's reasonable.
Yeah.
So there was another, I think, just maybe to talk about the ending. I mean, time has gone by quickly here. I know at the end we have the parade and then the fireworks, and that's all happening, right? The
Yeah.
fireworks
parade.
is on.
The fireworks are Saturday. If you remember last year, they were spectacular. This year we have the board did make the decision because of some fundraising constraints from the last 2 years that we need to reduce the amount of money that we're spending on the fireworks. So last year the fireworks were $25,000.
Wow.
This year
It's
we're going.
expensive.
They are. We're going down to 15, but it'll still be a
I'm
great
sure it'll be
show.
beautiful.
It's
I mean,
just
I
be
think it's-
abbreviated a little.
I think
that's
it's
all.
really great to get involved with different things in the community, and Yankee Homecoming, being a part of that board is a really, I think, great thing to be a part of.
Well, we're always looking for new volunteers. We
I
have
did
our
see that
volunteer
also on the
meeting.
website.
They're out this year. They were the fourth Tuesday at the Starboard Galley. They've been very helpful, hosting us in their
And you are
upstairs
looking for
function
other
room.
volunteers to do different
We
things
still
with the
have
events.
some
Yeah.
positions to fill. Tuesday is our last planning meeting. It's at 6:30 at the Starboard Galley. So if you can attend, we'll put you to work. We have over 75 volunteers.
Wow.
And a
That's
lot of them do
awesome.
multiple events. People don't realize, how much people hours
Yeah,
are involved
a
to
lot.
get this.
Yeah, dedicated.
And then bringing to the parade. The parade is our signature finale. And this year is going to be great because I think the community's back as participants, not just observers.
Yes, well, we will be filming it, and it'll be live, so for people
that'll
that
be
won't
great.
be able to come out, we always like to be able to include them
Very-
as well. Well,
very
Paul,
good.
this has been such a nice conversation.
Well, I appreciate the
If
time.
people want more information,
Couple things. YankeeHomecoming.com is our website. You can click on events. We used to do a printed brochure, and those days are over. Everything's pretty much
Yeah.
electronic now. We also have a Facebook page, so you can search Yankee Homecoming, and we'll have all our events. The Daily News has, in conjunction with us, is going to be placing an insert on Thursday,
Oh,
the
nice.
27th. So that will also have the schedule of events that was up to date as of the date we had to submit it. So things do change. So go back to the website to check all the events.
it sounds so wonderful. I look forward
Looking
to it. I
forward
hope
to
we
it. It'll
have
be a great
perfect weather
time. Great. Well, thank you.
all week.
That is my hope also.
And thank you for your volunteer time.
Oh.
It is a lot. I can see how much it would be.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much, Paul, for meeting with me today, and maybe we can get together again and talk about after the parade.
Oh, that would be
After the
interesting.
Yankee Homecoming.
Yeah, great.
All right,
Appreciate
super.
the opportunity.
Of
Thank
course.
you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Open Studio.